Ever Crisis, is defense worth it? TLDR, let's go. Now, I know you probably got a notification for this a little while ago. This is a separate video. I uploaded an initial video. Some people in the comments brought out some more information that was outside the box that I didn't take into consideration at all. Therefore, my video was flawed, and I'm not satisfied with that. Even though my TLDR was correct for the time being, not satisfied with it because I want to have all of the information possible, because these videos are for you, and I want to make sure everybody understands everything. The TLDR, though, is as of right now, in the present, the date of recording this video, build HP instead of defense. Defense is not worth jack. In my test, having 174 defense reduced the damage by about 300. And that took all 3 of my materia slots and all 3 of my sub-weapons, specifically focusing on defense. Just build HP, because a single weapon can get you more than 300 HP. However, in the future, this could change, okay? The way we're going to do this is we're going to take Genome Pod 1, which is the weakest version of this fight, and I am choosing this fight for the sole purpose of he attacks me immediately, and I can get the damage calculations really fast. So, Aerith is the only character that we care about in this video, and her defense stat right now, her physical defense, is 100. The physical defense is all we care about because the dash that he does at the beginning is a physical attack move. No materia, as you can see, no sub-weapons, as you can see, nothing is influencing this, so it is a flat 100. We're going to run our first test. We're going to take a screenshot of exactly how much damage he dealt. Then we're going to do the strongest version, Genome Pod 3, and we're going to see the actual difference in this dude's attack power with the same stats. Then we're going to do the same thing again with 175. He just decided not to attack me. Okay. I've never seen that before. Have you ever seen that before? I'm not going to cut this out because you've probably noticed by now, if you're a regular of my videos, I don't edit my videos. I just go one take all the way through. It doesn't matter if I stutter, it doesn't matter if whatever. I actually enjoy that sort of connection between myself and you guys watching it, the imperfections. I'm a human, I don't need to edit out everything. I feel like it's kind of nice to be that way. So we're leaving it in. I want to know, let me know, have you ever seen that? Has he ever just not rushed you at the beginning? Okay, let's grab our first screenshot. That's going to go in slot 1. This is the weakest with 0 defense. Now we're going to go do the strongest with 0 defense, so we can calculate the difference in damage. And then we're going to do both of them with our 174 defense. And once we've done that, we can calculate how much we're actually reducing the damage by, and see if it changes based on how much damage the enemy is dealing to us. Because this will tell us if our defense is a flat stat to us, or whether the amount of damage the enemy is dealing is actually taken into effect. Okay, there's our rush. Grab our screenshot. We're going to pause. We're going to go back into here. We're going to paste. Bring it here. There's our second sample. Go away. Retire. Okay. Obviously, this video is going to be a little longer than the first one because my sample size is bigger. And we have to go through more details. Now, what's interesting about this is the 3rd time I've now attempted to record this video. The first 2 times, I got exactly the same result twice. The 3rd time, I got the exact opposite. Now we have our skinned Aerith. This Aerith has 174 defense. This is the highest that my profile would allow me to get it. And it's kind of a nice number, the 175. 150 might be a bit cleaner, 200 would be cleaner, but I want it to be the max I can, right? Because I need to know if it's worth it, and having an absurd amount of defense is the way to do this. Okay. He is going to hit me. We're going to grab our next sample. This is definitely number 1, correct? Yep, Genome Pod 1. That's the thumbnail. Okay, that's going to go there. Then we are going to retire and get our final 1. Sorry, I know this is on and on and on. I could have just had these numbers pre-done, but I much prefer to have everything recorded because it works as evidence in these scenarios, right? Because at the end of the day, I am a random person on the internet. I could be lying to you for the sake of views or whatever, you know. I much prefer you to actually see everything in front of you, and you'll be able to divulge your own comments, your own theories and opinions based on what you're seeing, and the exact same test and data that I got. So it's always going to be a bit better that way. Alright, so here we go. That is our final sample. I am going to retire from this fight anyway, because the music in the menu is just nicer to sit and listen to than the fight music is. We have our 4 samples. So, I have a notepad right here. It is going to contain all of our information. And we have a calculator here. We'll now turn the game music down a little bit so I can concentrate. What we're going to do is we're going to work out the exact amount of damage that this enemy dealt. And the way we're going to do that is by taking our max HP, which in the first scenario here is 3,860, and we're going to reduce it by our current HP, which is 3,297. This tells us that he dealt 563 damage in the first scenario. 563. In the second scenario, 3,000, that's not a 6, or a 3,860 HP, minus 2,907. He dealt 953 damage. Alright. Third scenario. So we're going to have to lift this up a little bit more. Take this over here. We're going to take our new HP, which is 4,655, because it was affected by my weapons and my materia. Minus 4,240 is 415. Okay. And our final one is 4,655 minus 3,943. He dealt 712 damage. We now have all of the statistics that we actually care about. So, how much damage did we actually reduce by having 174 armor? So against the strongest enemy specifically, he dealt 953 with zero, with like no increase, with just our flat 100 defense. So 953. When we fought the strongest with 170 defense, he dealt 712. So we're going to minus 712. We got a damage reduction of 241 by having 174 defense. The weakest enemy's defense reduction, just to see if it is the same number or close to it, the weakest dealt 563 when I had 0 defense. When I had 174 defense, he dealt 415. So if we minus the 415, we reduced the enemy's attack by 148. Now, the fact that those numbers are not the same tells us right away that damage reduction, our defense, is not a flat reduction. The enemy's damage is 100% being taken into consideration when it comes to what is happening here, okay? There is roughly a 100 damage difference, even though the enemy dealt roughly 50% more damage, which is the next thing we should work out. So the damage difference between strongest and weakest. So if the strongest with 0 defense dealt 953, it's actually quite nice numbers right here. So 953, so we're going to go C, 953, and we're going to minus it by the strongest with, the weakest with 0 additional defense was 563, so we've got the minus 563. The damage difference was 390. Now, I don't know how that information is useful, but it's there, okay? I just want to give you everything that we possibly can. Now, we know that the strongest enemy deals roughly double damage, okay? They dealt about 1,000 here. They dealt about 500 here with that margin of error. Either way, it's safest to say there is about a 50% increase. And our reduction in defense, in this particular case, was not a 50% increase. However, I will tell you that in the first 2 times I recorded this video, it matched up. The damage was roughly double, and my defense reduction was roughly double. This scenario, I'm guessing we rolled quite badly in defense. Whether you choose to believe me on that is entirely up to yourself, but like I said, in this particular scenario, HP is obviously better than having defense because you can get one weapon that is going to give you more than 251 HP, because that's how much HP we saved by having defense. However, in the future, let's 10 times the numbers, because we have worked out that the amount of damage the enemy deals to us does affect how much damage that we block. So if we were to 10 times this, the enemy with the strongest enemy deals 1,000. Okay, we have to take it with defense. We're going to 10 times this, okay? So 10 times 712 is going to be 7,120. And if we 10 times the damage, we should 10 times our damage reduction. This was the strongest enemy, so we're looking at a 2,410 damage reduction, because this is how it works, give or take. Like I said, in my other 2 sample sizes, it was exactly this. Damage was double, reduction was double across the 2. So this is how it's going to work in the future. So in the future, when this is the case, when we have 15,000 HP per character, and the enemies are dealing 10,000 damage instead of 1,000 damage, at that point in time, defense very well may become worth it. Now, I haven't tested magic defense. I'm going to assume that it works exactly the same, because why wouldn't it? There's no reason for it to be any different to this one. But inevitably, we've worked out that as of today, defense, pointless, don't worry, go for HP. In the future, probably worth it. Commenters, please give me more information, give me details. I'm not going to re-record this video because I very much doubt there's anything else that I can add to this. But nevertheless, if this TLDR did help you in some way, then please feel free to leave a like. Pretty much every like that the video gets means that YouTube will show it to somebody else on their homepage, and then somebody else might click on that video, and if they do, they're helping me. So, appreciate you for watching this. Hopefully it helped, and I'll catch you in the next TLDR.